This is the plaintiff, Edward. He says the defendant had his truck for 3 weeks and was supposed to fix the thing. Didn't, and here they are. He's suing for $2,000, the amount he's owed. This is the defendant, Jacob. He says he fixed the guy's truck, and when he started complaining about a leak, he told him to bring it back in. The plaintiff refused to bring him the vehicle so he could see what the issue was causing the leak, and owes nothing. He's accused of shoddy workmanship.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff claims the defendant had his truck to repair for 3 weeks and never did it, and he says the thing still doesn't work right. But the defendant says that he fixed the guy's truck, and if there was a problem, the guy never brought it back to him, so he owes nothing. It's the case of, hey, I'm leaking badly.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're very welcome.
Okay, Mr. Edward, you brought your car to the auto repair business owned by Mr. Jacob in order to do what?
I have a rear main seal repaired. I was having an oil leak.
Okay. When you walked in there, did you already know what was wrong with it?
Yes, I took it to one place beforehand, and they had let me know what it was, but they couldn't fix it. They just couldn't do it. So I was looking for another shop.
What do you mean they couldn't fix it? They didn't have the time, or they tried but they couldn't?
No, they couldn't fix it. They didn't have the amount of manpower or time and things like that, the capacity.
Okay. So you took it to the defendant's shop, and the defendant's shop, had you ever been there before?
No.
Okay. How did you find him?
I went to the school in the area, so I know the area, so I always saw a car shop there. I didn't know if they own it or not, but it's a place that's been there for years, so I just stopped by there.
All right. Now, this was a 2003 Nissan Pathfinder, correct?
Yes.
I mean, it's been around the block. All right. How many miles did it have?
183, about like that.
Okay. So now, when you brought the car over to him, did he tell you, yes, no problem, I can fix it?
Yes. I told him what the issues I was having, and they diagnosed it. And when they got back to me, they told me it was the same thing that the other guy told me. The rear main seal was leaking.
Okay. So are you the person who actually spoke with him, Mr. Jacob?
It's either me or one of my employees, Tommy.
You don't remember?
I don't remember. This was nearly 6 months ago.
Okay. So according to the paperwork, which I am sure you have reviewed before coming to court, that's in fact what you guys fixed, a rear
main seal.
Rear main seal. All right. And you charged him $778.79?
Yes, that included an oil change.
Okay. And so when did you next hear from him saying, hey, the repair didn't take?
I received a phone call shortly after his warranty expired, which is he asked me over the phone, what are the warranty? I did mention it's 30 days on our labor, 1 year on the parts. But I told him
can I ask you a question? Where on the paperwork does it say that it's a 30-day warranty?
Actually, it does not.
Right. So how would a client know that it's a 30-day warranty as opposed to anything else?
It says in the office on a price sheet.
Do you have any pictures to show me that a client would see in order to be on notice that?
No, currently I don't.
Okay. All right. So I don't think that you're able to prove that there is only a 30-day warranty. That's an absolute defense. If he comes to you on day 31, this case is over right now. But you've got to be able to prove that he knew there was only 30 days being warranted. But now let's talk about what happens. He brings it to you after 30 days and says it's leaking again, right? And what do you guys do?
I told him to bring it in so we can verify it, and it was leaking from the same area. Unfortunately, the seal, you cannot see it. It's between the engine and transmission. It requires to remove the transmission out of the vehicle.
So what'd you do?
We had to wait until we clear out some jobs before we can get him on a lift and start working on it. We did remove the transmission. The seal was wet. We had purchased another one and replaced it.
Okay, so you did it a second time. All right, and then
Correct.
Now, according to you, what happens, Mr. Edward?
The first time or the second time I got it back?
Well, the first time, how long did they have your car?
About a week.
The second time, how long did they have your car?
About 3 weeks.
All right, and then after the second time, you think it's all solved, and what happens?
I'm driving, the same thing's happening again. My oil lights flashing. I actually, after the second time, I put cardboard underneath it, and maybe a few seconds later, the car's leaking oil in the same exact area it was doing, back in June, the first time I took it to him.
How soon did that happen?
When I got it back the second time, I checked it out that day. I put the carbon underneath it.
Did you call him that day?
Yes.
And then what happens? What does he tell you over the phone?
Well, the second time I wanted my money back because it was doing the exact same thing. And he told me he was going to call me back. I never got a call back. So then I waited about another week and I called back demanding my money. And he told me it could be something else leaking, just kind of give me the runaround. So that's when I made an appointment with the car dealership.
And what did the car dealership tell you?
It's the rear main seal leaking.
Again, did they tell you whether there was some other thing causing it?
No, just the rear main seal. The same thing I paid them to fix.
Right. Now, according to you, Mr. Jacob, this could be something else. Tell me what your defense is on that. Go ahead.
Correct. Number one reason why seals leak is a faulty PCV valve. Mr. Edward did not give us a chance to bring the vehicle back in so we can actually diagnose it and find out what's causing the problem. We fixed the leak, but we didn't get to the bottom of the actual cause.
If the number one reason why a rear main seal will leak is some PVC valve that you're talking about, why didn't you check that the second time you had his car for 3 weeks?
Well, we thought it was just a faulty defective seal. It could have been damaged.
But why? If it's the number one reason, then that's the number one thing you should have done the second time. In other words, I understand when you tell me, oh, it's not the number one reason. I got that from you. It's not the number one reason?
It's one of the bigger reasons.
Well, apparently you at the time thought that one of the bigger reasons would be that what you installed had failed because what you did was install another one. So does the guy have to come to you a third time? Because it's 2 times he came to you. I understand that a car is a very complex piece of machinery. And I understand that there could be, if I bring you my car and you say X is broken and X is really broken, and then you fix X, and then my car is still 183,000 mile, 17-year-old car and something else goes wrong, I can't look at you and say, oh, but you said you'd fix my car and you didn't, so you breached my contract. I know that's not how it works. However, I've got a very specific set of facts in this case where he brings it to you. The repair doesn't work. You do the repair a second time, and then it also doesn't work. And then you want him to bring it to you a third time. And I've got to decide whether that's reasonable. I might have brought it to you a third time. I might have, because I'm an idiot. But I don't think that I can impose that standard on Mr. Edward.
Welcome back to the People's Court. So how many times would you bring your car back to a repair shop for the exact same problem? Let's find out. We'll go back into the courtroom.
He already gave it to you for a total of 1 month. And if after 2 shots you couldn't get a seal to stick, then what did he pay you for? I'm going to order you to return, not the oil change, obviously, but the amount that he paid you in order to have the job done, which is $743.79. You don't get double that extra in inconvenience and loss of time. You don't get to make it triple the case it is, even though I'm sure you're angry, but you do get your $743.79 back. Good luck, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So the plaintiff is going to get $743, not $2,000 back. Mr. Jacob, let me see what you think about this, the outcome of the case.
I think I didn't get a fair shot to actually find out what the problem is and correct Mr. Dawson's car, but I agree with the judge's decision.
Okay. Well, you've got to give him $743, I think it is, back. And that's the judge's verdict. You're going to have to live with that. Edward, let me ask you how you feel about it. I know you wanted a lot more money than you're going to get, but $743, how about that?
Sounds fair to me.
Very good. What's the status of the car now? Has it been fixed yet?
No, not yet. As soon as I get the money back, I'll get it fixed.
Well, good luck to you. Hope you find a place that can do it for that amount of money.
When you're driving a 2003 car, about 17 years old, and you've got that kind of mileage on it, you're going to have problems from time to time. So obviously this was a major one, but you were not impressed that they weren't able to diagnose it better on the second time around.
I mean, you have the guy's car for a month. If you're going to tell me that the number one reason is a PVC valve, then why didn't you look at that?
Right.
No, not the number one. Okay, well, then like you assumed, you're the expert, and you assumed that the seal you put in was faulty, so you put in another seal.
Right.
Why shouldn't I assume that the seal you put in the second time was also faulty? You know?
But wouldn't that be the first step? I mean, come on, the seal failed apparently, you put a new seal in, I guess.
I guess, but how many times would you have brought your car in a third time?
I think my confidence might have been shattered a little bit after the second time. It didn't really take. But this is a car, I had almost 200,000 miles on it, and I was doing a little quick back of the envelope math on this. If you drove your car all the way around the world, if there was a highway around the equator, 8 times you would have the mileage that this guy's got on the car. I mean, that thing's been rode pretty hard. So,
rode hard and put away wet.
Maybe. So hopefully now he gets the repair made properly, and it has a happy ending.
So Devin wants to know this. Hey, Harvey, my mother took care of my dog for a few days and she let him eat something rotten from a garbage can. My dog got sick and the vet bill was $750. Can my mother be responsible for that? Can I sue her? Really? You want to sue her for that? Well, here's the thing. If your mom was negligent, if she left the garbage can open, out in the open for the dog, maybe that could be considered negligence. I would consider maybe sitting down with your mom. It may not be worth ruining the relationship.